there is one issue which you have spoken about often, and that is regarding regulation in India through education regulators. Since 1992, we had this concept of multiple regulators. Apart from UGC, we had EICTE, MCI, etc., etc. But it seems that any educational institute which is not governed by regulator actually does well. Do you actually see these regulators as a stumbling block? And if so, what is the way forward?
The way forward is very clear. Good institutes will have very less regulation and more autonomy.
So if you perform well, you'll be out of the regulation.
Yes. Then if you are a middle level institute, you will have 50-50. If you are not even in middle level, then you will have more regulation and little freedom. But everybody will get freedom to move ahead.
Right. So what will be the future of UGC? Because there have been NITI Aayog reports.
UGC will be completely reformed.
Disbanded?
No, not disbanded. You require regulator. Okay. AICT looks after technical education. But it will become, it will change its complexion. It will change its way it was working. I have already instructed that no midnight circulars to change midway. Any change you want to bring has to be properly consultation, public consultation, and then we'll bring it for the next academic year.
No mid-course correction.
No mid-course correction suddenly. It's not a way forward.
So the message is that yes, reforms on regulators, but they will continue. They will not be disbanded.
Regulation will be for 3 different categories. Will be 3 different regulatory regimes. So good institutes will have complete autonomy, and our government's philosophy of giving more autonomy. We want to promote autonomous colleges more and more. Then we are giving complete freedom to IIMs. The new world-class universities, that is institutes of eminence, will be built. Guidelines are issued. They are really free. No interference from MHRD at all.
I'll come to institutes of eminence, but before that, you know, the IIM bill is in Parliament, and you are saying that perhaps in monsoon session it will be passed.
It will be passed,
right? But private institutes like XLRI or SPGN, who are like, again, institutes of eminence as far as MBA education is concerned, they feel that perhaps they will lose what you call level playing field. Do you agree with this concern that because of an IIM bill, an XLRI or an SPGN will lose their level playing field? Is that a valid concern?
Because they will also get that same freedom. Where they will see good institutes because we will give freedom, equal freedom, really. So there will be no issue.
Okay. There is one more very interesting.
And one good thing is ISB likes institutes which have not asked for any affiliation, which are not regulated because they are out of the system and they are the best regarded. So that's how institutes should grow on their own also.
Interesting question on Facebook. Just like GST, which is basically will lead to one nation, one tax. Why not have a one nation, one education board kind of a arrangement? Is that possible in the future?
No. See, as far as school education is concerned, we are a vast country. We have 22 languages of constitution, and we have 30 states. They are like one state is more than one country in Europe, and therefore there are cultural variations and so many diversities. All must get something reflected into there. Some states have taken a good lead to teach geography or history of their district first, then of the state, then of the country, and then of the progressively, then of the world.
Right.
So that's also one approach. So there is a space for local content also, and that freedom must be given to the states.
I want your response on 2 queries. One is on the Higher Education Finance Agency. What is the status and how will it perform? And secondly, on this new examination testing agency which was supposed to come up.
Both are at a very advanced stage. Already HEFA, Higher Education Finance Agency, has been operationalized. Canara Bank is the agency. The formalities are practically over. From I hope from June it will start working with essentially budget contribution of 500 crores first coming in, and then immediately we'll raise from the markets also, and we'll start lending also. So lending is essentially to upgrade the research infrastructure and other infrastructure deficits.
So will there be a criteria for this agency to lend to a university or a institution?
Yes, that is also all worked out.
Right.
And there is a robust system again.
Right. how do you promote R&D? That is one very important query, again, coming up on Facebook, is that whenever you pass out, you either, go and join
a very important question, because our whole thrust of higher education is on research and innovation. India lacks in innovation. And unless we innovate, we won't be sustainably prosperous. So to be prosperous sustainability, we need to innovate, and to innovate we must build in research culture through education system. So we have started allowing startups to from the campus. We have started research parks in IITs. We have started incubation centers. 600 startups have been financed. Then we have done one more thing. We have started industry academia interaction and industry and research organization interaction. We have also some expert from research organization comes and conducts a course. So GAN, under GAN, foreign faculties come and conduct the course. In industry academia, industries are giving their requirement to the institutes, and they are working on hands-on project. So all these are new efforts. And in print, also a public funded project where nearly 300 research projects of professionals, of students, of teachers have been accepted and funded. So all these efforts are to improve the quality and innovation culture in university.
Right. You talked about how the Modi government wants to promote innovation, and startups is one example that you have given. But at the same time, we last year saw some regulations by UGC known as the minimum standards procedure for award of MPhil and degrees, PhDs, where students are saying that because of these regulations, they are not getting admission because they have cut down the number of seats
Nowhere we have cut the seats. The only problem of one JNU is because it was not following any rule.
Rules in terms of?
Rules, UGC rules are approved by all the universities. 800 universities. Only one university was not following the UGC rules. Now court has said that they have to follow UGC rules.
Right.
And a professor can guide only 8
as per UGC guidelines.
PhD. No, because world over they guide only 4 or 2 only. But we allowed it for expansion 8 students. But in JNU there are professors who are guiding 20, 30, 40 students. That is not PhD.
So then can't the solution be to have more teachers? More teachers.
And I am very happy to announce that unfortunately in JNU, scheduled caste teachers were not recruited, scheduled tribes teachers were not recruited, Divyangas were not recruited. Now the university is filling up all these 300 posts. Once they join by December, the seats will automatically increase more than last year.
Right. What about employability? Once an engineer passes out, he also has to be employable. And you talked about how that is also a major issue.
Employability we have addressed, and good institutes get complete employable, and others we are increasing by, we organized this year Smart India Hackathon, where 42,000 engineering students got to work, an opportunity to work for 4 months on a hands-on project of actual problem. So those who have participated, their skills has enhanced, and they will definitely get placed.
My last question, sir, and this is regarding the overall education support mechanism in the government. The budget allocation increased by around 10% this year, right? But at the same time, if you look at the overall numbers, the budget allocation to education versus the GDP, that has actually come down in the past 2-3 years. How would you respond to that?
No, that is not come down, because this year we have already, by 14th Finance Commission, we have devolved more money to the states. So if you look states and center together, the education percentage of GDP is 4.5%, which is very good in emerging economic class, and GDP is not in government exchequer. It's in the private hands also. So if we take public-private partnership also into account and other things also, we are reaching our target and will reach.
So the message is that the HRD ministry will reach out and meet the targets that it has set.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining CNBC TV18. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank
you. And thanks for responding to our Facebook and Twitter users. With that, thanks for watching CNBC TV18.